Hey guys, what's going on? So today we are going over the new purchasable for 990 ASTROGEMS astromon. CHLOE is what she is called. So if you buy 3, you get a legendary egg, 4 to 5 star, whatever. We know what legendary eggs are. And after purchasing 5, you get a light or dark. I assume it's like the light Syra event where every time you purchase 3 and then 5, or every time you purchase 5, you get both of those rewards. So getting a light or dark probably won't be too hard if you're willing to buy at least 15 of them. So to get the one you want. But yeah, I never go for these types of events. I know some do. But he did it for the gleams. So what we're doing is taking a look at the fire, light, and dark because that is what is available. Let's go ahead and start with the almost surely not good one, which is the fire. I've seen a very similar skill set on a fire tank. Was that like the Jim and Mia? I don't know. Whoa. Wow, that's interesting. 50% chance to restore 50% of own HP when attacking. Huh. Never seen unadrenaline before that has a 50% chance. It's always 100. So RNG, very RNG, but 50% is quite a lot. And then she's kind of like a passive healer on a 5-star. Actually, no, that's not that great because we have Fire Vampire that does 50% as long as he crits. And getting to 100% crit shouldn't be too much of an issue most of the time. So it's really not that great. And then the 5-star skill, and I know Fire Vampire is an attacker, whereas she's a tank, but actually I think a self-sustaining attacker is a little bit better. This is just kind of annoying when a tank keeps healing themselves. And then she has this common passive adrenaline skill where it heals up to 40% depending on how many enemies you have there. We've seen it on a lot of other astromons, so there's not really much to say here. All around, I guess it's kind of interesting because of the 50% chance, but other than that, she's definitely not a unit worth going for in my opinion. She just seems to, you know, like what the hell are you going to use her for? She won't do damage being a tank. There are better passive healers out there, so just no. You only get her to fuse into the light or dark, I assume. But if you are going to build her, I guess I would just go full HP to take more advantage of her self-healing. Of course, healing the other allies depending on her own HP. So that's what I would do. Alright, here we got the light one. We got 30% morale boost. Pretty standard. And then 70% AoE shock. So I assume it's the dark one that's the good one because this also doesn't sound worth it. I think the light one's only there so you can get disappointed when you open your 4-star egg and it's the light one. Then you have to get 5 more for 5,000. And then maybe, you know, it'll be another light one. But then you're out of ASTROGEMS. What happens then, MSL? What happens then? So all in all, definitely underwhelming. Again, I wouldn't really recommend building her, but I mean, she could be a decent CC for something like Astromon League or so, because she will get off her active quickly, and 70% is okay for AoE when you can get it off very quickly. It definitely could be something. She is a defender, so she should survive decently well. I might be a little bit harsh on them because of how expensive they are, but that is definitely a point to consider when each of them costs 990, and if you want to Evo 3 it immediately, that's like, what, 16,000 almost? So of course, they have to be good, and she's not really good. I can't imagine many people are going to actually be going for her, unless the dark one is op. I can imagine the dark one's op. I haven't looked at their skills yet, but I just imagine that it is, because that kind of like offsets the crap light and the crap fire, and again gives you something to be disappointed about when you're opening your light dark. So with that being said, I don't even really want to recommend a gym set for her because like I said, I imagine the dark one's going to be the actual good one, but regardless, how you build her really depends on what you want her for. She doesn't need crit for her skills. She is a defender. She's meant to be survivable, so you could just go with the good old HP defense, make her super tanky, and be able to get that shock off maybe a couple more times before she's die. That was wrong English, Tyler. Set-wise, I guess it doesn't really matter. Try and get some resist on her via substats, or the set works as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, not too much else to say about her. So far, I'm very disappointed, but at the same time, kind of happy because there's actually literally zero temptation to spend any ASTROGEMS so far. And here we go. The dark one is an attack breaker and a courageous striker. Of course, it's going to be awesome. Well, 70% 2-turn. You know, it's okay. It's not really that great. But of course, Courageous Strike is nice. Not as overpowered as I thought. 100% chance for 2 turns would be great. 80% 3 turns would also be great. And you know, light, dark, Courageous Strikers aren't really that awesome anyway because you're only going to be bringing them to, I guess, Light Titan if you want the maximum damage. And then they're going to die in like 1 or 2 hits anyway. So not worth it. Even if the dark one is decent, it's not worth the RNG involved in getting the light or dark one when you pull 5. I'm not gonna lie and say she's bad like the others. I think dark is definitely the best one. I mean, she does have that natural 100% crit damage as well. But she is balanced, which is again odd. I mean, she should be an attacker with a courageous strike on her, but I guess she does also have attack down. I don't think it'll help her survivability really that much, because you do need to throw a crit rate and an attack at least. The third one can be one for survivability or another attack gem. It just depends on your preference there. Looking at her max stats, yeah, balanced. She doesn't have very good attack, actually, for being a courageous striker, but she also doesn't have super bad survivability either. Even so, unless you can keep the Light Titan attack broken and blinded, she probably won't survive very long, even with a healer, or 2 healers, whatever. But yeah, very good skill set for Titans, if she were a fire, water, or wood. All around, unimpressive as a whole, but the dark one is not bad. So I guess we're going to take a look at their variant forms now, because we didn't do that. So here we have the normal Trixie. They are kind of cute astromons though, I will admit. So if you're going to get her just for the, I don't know, is she, I don't really want to call her a waifu, because like, I don't really see that. Just more like a cute factor, I guess. Then yeah, go for it. But yeah, so here's her variant form, you know, how most fires go. And here's the light, and its variant form. That doesn't, well, her hair changes a bit. And yeah, her clothes change. It's like kind of the same color scheme in a way, just in different parts. And here we have the dark normal and the dark variant. Starting to look actually a bit like that one lady from the Joker, Batman. Might get a few dislikes for this, but I'm not actually really into superhero type things. But yeah, that's them. Again, unimpressive, uninspiring. Regardless, if you weren't sure about getting her, I would say definitely don't do it. Don't do it at all, unless you are really desperately wanting her because of the way she looks. Then, you know, you play you, man, or you do you. You play your whatever. Just as far as utility goes, the dark one is the best, and it's still kind of not really worth it. Not the ASTROGEMS, at least. If she was a Rebirth Festival Astromon, yeah, you know, I'd probably go for her also, but not as a special package. She's not good enough for that, in my opinion. So personally, unless you just really like the way she looks, then stay away from it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on that. Tell me your thoughts about her in the comments down below. If you do see some use for any of them, like special uses that are worth 990 ASTROGEMS each, then make sure to share those as well. Who knows? You know, people can think of weird things that can go together with certain weird combinations. I'm just one guy with an opinion, so share yours. But yeah, also you can drop a like if you did happen to enjoy. I can't imagine many people did because of my tone. It's just after a while, most of these astromons are kind of seeming very same and uninspired, and yeah, I'm sorry, but I can't get excited about that. Anyway, thanks as always for watching, and until next time. And as always, thanks to my supporters over on Patreon.